New on Curiosity Stream.
From time to time, we have collisions between asteroids and the Earth.
We track them, we study them, we hope the big one never comes. Don't look up, it's Asteroid Rush. And alligators. They rarely get sick. They even outlasted the dinosaurs. Could they hold the secret to human longevity?
Their blood could have antibacterial applications.
Wade into the investigation on immortal alligators. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the Men's Room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the Men's Room.
Hello, here we go. Welcome to Season 17, Episode number 3603. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Ted Smith, and my cock, Montgomery. And you are the Men's Room. Well, Ted, today it is the random question. Your guess is as good as mine. Categories: the most fun cities and best states to raise a family. We will play Profile This, plus headlines, Men's Room Shot of the Day, fun with listener emails, and everyone's favorite, TV Time with Ted. Click-clack, look at the door. All right, here we go. Good boy comes home with a big old bone of a man who was killed 2 years ago. Meanwhile, a Maryland man is robbing a house and gets stuck in the chimney and has nowhere to go. Mom goes to the grocery store and is shocked to see her trunk empty when she gets home. Florida man swinging alligator by the tail at 3 a.m. gets probation and clearly needs a comb. And a man says the Methodist pants wasn't his because they were not his pants. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, police in Pennsylvania, they spotted a car driving erratically and suspected that the driver might be under the influence. But when they pulled the vehicle over, they were shocked to discover a live deer in the trunk. Hell, it wasn't even a trunk, it was a hatchback. But not to be outdone, police in Texas, they discovered a 13-year-old human in the trunk of his mother's car. Now, the good news is the kid was alive and well, absolutely fine. The bad news is it was his mother's idea. But don't worry, it gets worse. In Las Vegas, a judge denied bail for a man who fled from a traffic stop. Now, the judge did not deny bail because he fled the traffic stop, but we're betting that he fled the traffic stop because the car he was in contained a severed head and dismembered body parts. But don't fret too much. Apparently, all of those body parts belong to his quote-unquote friend. Now, on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, a woman in England put groceries and her purse into the trunk of her car. Pretty standard stuff. But when she got home and opened her trunk, there were no groceries and no purse. So what happened? Well, there'd been an identical car parked next to hers, and that's the one she loaded with the groceries. But after returning her shopping cart, she climbed into her actual car and drove home. That's right. Now, these are just some of the stories we've come across, stories that left us with many questions we'd like to ask you in the form of our random question, and this is how it works. You call us, we ask you a question that completes random, and after you share your story, we will share with you the news story that inspired said question.
Be part of the big show, the random question. Call 206-421-ROCK. Like the Men's Room on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live, and send those emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
New on Curiosity Stream, he allows them their riches
Putin has to be the richest of the rich.
in exchange for their loyalty.
The oligarchs have supported someone for president that they underestimated.
The illicit affair between Russia's elite and the man who rules them on Putin and the oligarchs. And World War II Normandy, an obscure battle training session takes a tragic turn. Uncover the one secret military catastrophe on the secret D-Day disaster. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
Bro, gnarly. What's up, Taylor? Dude, that nerd in his electric hybrid totally blew the light while texting his yuppie friends.
That's so bogus, bro. Are you hurt?
Yeah, like I can't move my hips, bro. I think I broke my pelvis, man. Dude, no way.
Taylor, you need to drop a dime and talk with the lawyers at the Advocates Law Firm.
No way, can't afford that, bro. Your crotch is broken, man, and they don't earn any money unless they win your case. Dude, no way. You get injured, the advocates get results. Contact them today at advocateslaw.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
Debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Hold the toes and away we go. Welcome to season 17, episode number 3603. What a large and a charged program we have for you today. Guaranteed future reading.
Oh, yeah.
Once again, the exciting return of your guest is as good as mine. The categories today, we have the 10 most fun cities in America.
Fun?
You want to have fun? Fun. You go to one of these 10 cities. They are the funnest. Based on nightlife, entertainment options.
I assume this is
restaurants.
Adult specific?
Yeah.
Okay.
For an example, Pearl City, Hawaii was named the least fun city again this year.
What is it about Pearl? I don't know anything about Pearl City, Hawaii, but 100% of the things I've heard about it have been negative.
Brownsville, Texas, no fun there. Oxnard, California, apparently no fun there. Ontario, California, no fun there. And Moreno Valley, California. So believe it or not, 3 of the least fun cities in the United States are in California. But we have the 10 major fun cities in America. And we also have, according to a new survey from Wallet Hub, they looked at about 4 dozen metrics and found the best states to raise a family. So they've got a ton of different...
The drunken state.
Well, they have family fun as far as attractions, fitness centers, rec centers, parks, playgrounds, health and safety, which includes pediatricians per capita, water and air quality, life expectancy, violent crime rate, education, child care, affordable homes, family income. They look into divorce rates, the share of families living in poverty, job security, a bunch of different things go into this, but they have the 10 best states. And they also have the 10 worst states on the list as well, if you're curious what those are. To be honest with you, I think in this situation, if you have a choice, you might have an easier time picking the 10 worst cities to raise a family in than the 10 best. And I'm not saying...
No, I'd agree with that.
There's some gray areas as far as what you might perceive to be a great place to raise a family.
Right.
But there are other states that you know for a fact that you would never want to raise your family in that state.
I'm running through my list right now.
Right. I mean, it's exactly what you think it is. By the way, West Virginia was last in the family fun category. Shocking. Yeah. They did not do well. They did not do well at all.
Like, there's less fun there than, say, Iowa? I mean, West Virginia, if nothing else,
I bet they probably have a huge amusement park. They probably have something.
Yeah.
I mean, anything. Even if they had a large state fair, that is more stuff to do than
someone's going to visit West Virginia, and they come to you because that's how things work.
Right.
You go, I'm taking my family to West Virginia. We're going to spend 4 days. What do you recommend? Because you're right. If it's Iowa, here's the amusement.
Well, the first thing I recommend is cutting it to 2 days, and that'll just take you enough time to drive through it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I really don't know what you would do there for 4 days.
I mean, it's nature.
There are things to do there.
But you can find nature almost anywhere. I mean, I know what you're
I'm
saying.
just saying, like, I have spent some time in West Virginia. Like, the nature aspect is there, but you're right. Like, there's not, like...
There's no place to go. There's no restaurant that you would want to go to. There's
There's not a big town.
Yeah, you could...
Even Kentucky has, like, a couple towns you know of, but... Outside of college football, if you ask somebody, no offense, but like name a major town in West Virginia.
Right. There's one day a year where you can jump off a bridge, okay, with a parachute, if you're into that. Underneath that bridge is also the New River Gorge. You can whitewater down that at certain times.
All right, there's something.
There's a couple, but they're very specific windows of time. You can't whitewater raft there all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like not in the winter or anything like that. I mean, it's a small little window. So, I mean... Other than hiking, you could be specific, like as far as going skiing is concerned. Maybe if you're into golf or something like that.
But again, you can play golf almost anywhere. You can ski in a lot. So I would find it hard that you would specifically target West. Like, hey, man, my family likes to ski. We can go to Colorado or West Virginia. Like, go to Colorado.
Sure.
Right?
Well, there's stuff to do in Colorado. There's nothing to do in West Virginia.
My brother and sister-in-law, in the summertime, they go over to West Virginia a lot. Because there's a cool brewery. It's in the middle of nowhere, and you just sit in Adirondack chairs and drink beers and look at the hills.
Well, you can drink beer anywhere.
I'm just saying, that's proving your point. It's like that's the only reason they go is to hang out in the middle of nowhere.
What's the closest amusement park? Ohio, as far as a really solid.
It depends on where you are in the state. If you're in the south western part of the state, I would say to go to Kings Island, which is the family of King's Dominion, which is in Cincinnati.
Okay, all right, okay.
If you live in the northern part of the state, I would say truck it on up to Erie or to someplace north in Ohio, because they have Cedar Point.
They are known for
they have all that stuff. If you want to be a little bit closer to that, you could go to Kennywood Park in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. You could go to Busch Gardens in Williamsburg, Virginia, which would be closer to people in the eastern panhandle.
Mm-hmm.
The state's kind of a weird shaped state, so it depends on where you are. But you just have to take a drive to do anything. I mean, look, it wasn't uncommon for us to drive to Baltimore and Washington, D.C. just to have something to do for a week.
Sure.
You know, just to see.
Get out of the car, walk, and see other people.
You want to see like a band or something like that. You know what I mean? Go there.
I can't believe Washington State does not have like a sizable, decent amusement park. I'm not talking Great Wolf Lodge, nothing like that. But I mean, a full-on amusement park.
I think it's just based on the weather. I think it's based on the fact that there's just not that much window of a time to make it economically feasible. Now, there are some. There's like one in the eastern part of Washington. But according to that, that's going to close in the winter. So there's a few.
Is it still Washington, or is that the one in Idaho?
I think the biggest one's in Idaho, right? That's the Mac Dad.
Right.
So that's how far we got to go. But yeah, I'd be down with that. So, on the most fun cities in the best states to raise a family, coming up with your guess is as good as mine. And bonus today on the
program, a bonus.
We have tickets for you to see Ghost and Volbeat.
Oh.
That's a Climate Pledge Arena show, right? So what they asked us to do was, they said, pick a time.
All right.
So we randomly are going to pick a time every day and then give you the secret code word at that time. Then you'll go to KISW. There's a contest page. You'll say, hey, you want to go see Ghost and Volbeat? I'll put the code word in there. You put the code word in, you got a chance to win the tickets. So what we have determined, so that you'll remember this time, is today the time will be at 4:20.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah.
That way you guys can have it right there in your brain, and we'll give you the secret word, and then you get a chance to win the tickets. Nice. All week long we're going to do this. We'll pick a different time. We've got a different code word for it.
Who is the headliner of this? Because I feel like you can switch it either way, right? They probably do about the same in album sales.
It might honestly land, depend on what day it lands on. You know, it's one of those, because you're right. Both of those artists could stand on their own being the headliner, so I think they are just switching back and forth. I don't know if we'll know until that day.
We'll say like what Metallica and Guns N' Roses did that for a while. They toured together and just said, look, depending on the night, one of us a headline, one of a who knows.
Same with Journey and Billy Idol. If you've ever seen, it's not that Journey doesn't put on a good show. They do. But Billy Idol kicks ass. I mean, I'm not sure that he doesn't put on a better show than Journey. No disrespect to Journey. I've seen Journey. I've seen Billy Idol. I'm just saying.
Did you see Journey with Steve Perry or with the
new
replacement guy?
Yeah, with the new guy. And he's great. He does a good job. But I'm still saying Billy Idol comes out there, man, and just like, Billy Idol. He's the man. You know what I mean?
I don't know if Neil Schon, guitar player in Journey, if his ego could handle the idea of opening. Honest to God.
I bet you're probably right.
Like, he has a serious ego issue, man. I just don't know he'd be all right with that.
And coming up on the Men's Room Happy Hour exclusively on the Odyssey app today, we're going to do a little props from the weekend, and we've got the last week of NFL picks. Man, was that a brutal week. Boy, oh boy. One guy in here did really well. The other folks...
It wasn't me.
We did terrible on picks for the weekend. So,
did anybody get the Jacksonville game?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Damn.
Somebody did, yeah. It's a fact. There were a couple upset picks that actually panned out.
Right.
Hey, look, I picked the Lions. They won. I don't know how the hell that happened.
They did.
That was going to be one of my upset picks. I went with it. It was one of my few wins for the weekend.
I know. I got home Friday and my buddy sent me a text. He's like, how'd you not take the Saints? Sorry.
Yeah.
I should have.
Men's Room Happy Hour. If you don't have the Odyssey app, download it now. It's absolutely free. And then search for the Men's Room. You'll see the Men's Room Happy Hour channel. That channel goes live Monday through Friday at 6 o'clock. And it's a little bit different than the show we do here on these airwaves at KISW because we're not governed by the same rules as we do terrestrial radio by the FCC.
That is correct,
Which
friend.
means that all the words we can't say here, we can say there. And a lot of the topics that we can't cover here, we can cover there.
In detail.
So it's a little bit more of an adult program.
By the way, we were talking about Pearl City, Hawaii earlier, saying, look, we don't know much about it. But every time it comes up, it's a very negative thing. You know, a horrible place to be, a horrible place to live. Pearl City, that's where the Aloha Bowl is. Surrounded by 2 tall towers, crammed with people. Then there's also a mall.
Well, what's wrong with that? Did you say the Aloha Bowl?
The Aloha Bowl, yeah. Because that's it.
That's where they have the Pro Bowl, right? The Aloha Bowl? Is that in Honolulu? I thought it was outside of Honolulu. Just on the outskirts.
They used to.
Or am I thinking about something completely different?
No. They used to always do it in Hawaii, but I don't know that they do it there anymore.
Yeah, I think they stopped doing it.
That stadium is old.
Mm-hmm.
Like University of Hawaii is building, I want to say, a new, smaller stadium because that one's built for NFL. But I mean, from what I've heard,
you know what I mean? Like, or is it just a Canton?
It's that big. But from what I've heard, like it's just used for like high school sports.
Yeah, that's it. Okay.
Think about being like, ooh, it's on Hawaii, then you show up. No offense, but it's Memorial Stadium. It could still be a crappy stadium, even though it's in a beautiful place.
I just can't believe that no matter what, if you're in Hawaii, so what? You know what I mean? Drive a little bit. It's beautiful there. Like
that is my thought, but nothing good comes up about it. Somehow it's defied the Hawaii thing. Like, yes, it's in Hawaii.
It's 85 degrees.
They're also probably basing this on living there.
The sun is shining.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I just can't see that being the worst place. But either way.
Oh, God damn it.
What's that?
If you were on hold, call back.
Oh, yes. Random question 206-421-ROCK. You guys want to take the first one on?
Yeah, why the hell not? Okay. Off to a strong start.
We can do this one.
Random.
All right, Ted, we'll start with you. What do you eat or drink every single day? What is part of your regular diet?
Besides water?
Yeah, besides water.
I mean, I guess I'd say coffee.
Yeah, but you don't drink coffee on the weekend, right? You're like me.
I had one Saturday. I didn't have one yesterday.
Okay, all right. Because sometimes I'll do, but for the most part, I'm Monday through Friday, I'm pretty steady on coffee.
I'm with you.
Just seems like on the weekend, I end up waking up and drinking.
Yeah, right.
I'm dead serious.
Yeah, I drink it probably 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Coffee, yeah. Saturday I was doing the hippie speed bomb, one of my favorites.
The hippie speed bomb.
Yeah, coffee and a joint.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Kind of an upper and a downer.
Okay, but nothing else that's of any regularity.
Man, I guess I try to try to eat like a piece of fruit every. I don't know. I feel like trying to eat something every day is kind of hard.
Yeah, but it's not that I try, but like if I have Cinnamon Toast Crunch, I will eat a bowl every night, right? And then the box runs out and I go a while. But if it's there, it is a guarantee that I eat it every day. And I'll say with every day last week and so far again this morning, at least for breakfast here at work, I'm showing up with my everything bagel with smoked salmon on it.
You eat that almost every day?
And I have
if you have. Do you eat it on the weekends?
Yes.
All right.
Yes,
the
I do, man.
weekends just throw me off. But I mean, during the week, I pretty much eat the same stuff. Usually try to eat like a salad for lunch and then.
How about when you go home? What do you drink most of the time? I'm drinking a pitcher of Crystal Light.
I drink either beer or soda waters.
And that's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm right. Just beer.
I got a pitcher of Crystal Light. Different flavor every night. You know what I mean? Pretty well.
You know what? I will say also, I probably almost always have one thing that always is in my fridge is a red Gatorade.
Okay. I already crushed one, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's like you're going to wake up one day hungover or whatever, or maybe one night you're just like, well, I want some Gatorade. But like red Gatorade almost always is in my fridge.
If I have orange juice, I'll have a cup of a day. I can't, for some reason, I can't stay away from orange juice.
I love orange juice.
It's one of those
Orange
delicious.
juice. Dude, I did it yesterday.
If it's in there, I'm like, I got to get a glass of orange juice. This is
Yeah, and it was like 3 PM, but I was like, damn, that orange juice looks delicious.
And it's good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So orange juice is mine. The reason we asked, what do you eat or drink every day? Could you eat a taco every day for a whole month?
A taco?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think I'm down
For
with it.
sure.
Well, what if I said you could do it for just $10? That's courtesy of Taco Bell. Fans whose New Year's resolutions involve expressing their love for Taco Bell are in luck. The chain...
Yes, that's my New Year's resolution, to let Taco Bell know how much I love them.
Has just released its new Taco Lovers Pass, which makes it easier to help consumers reach new heights of their fandom. Once your scholarship or your subscription is in hand, you'll be able to order one of the restaurant's 7 taco selections, including the Crunchy Taco, the Soft Taco, the Doritos Locos Taco,
all right,
the Supreme version of those 3 tacos, and the Spicy Potato Soft Taco. That just does not sound good to me.
I mean, it sounds good, but it's not what I would order.
They're fantastic.
Potato Soft Taco.
Is it just the little potatoes inside a...
Correct. So basically they have little potato cubes that they deep fry. Put a little spicy salt on there. They put those down. You get a little bit of lettuce, tomato, cheese, sour cream in there. And the soft taco.
Yeah,
it's great. It's great.
I mean, right, they can't miss.
Basically, you download the app, and then from there, you pay the $10. And hey, look, so Doritos Locos Taco Supreme is $2.70. So if you do go every day and you get one of these things, you're going to save about $70 for a $10 purchase. Now, keep in mind, no one goes to Taco Bell, and they know this, and just gets one item. You might get one taco, right? But there's no way that you could go to Taco Bell. Like if someone said, hey, I'm going to Taco Bell, I'd never go, give me one taco.
Oh, no, it's like 8 of them.
You know what I mean?
That'd be like if you're not hungry, and it's like, well, you're going anyhow, just give me a taco.
Even then,
exactly.
you
can
get me 2.
Still eat a taco.
Even if you're not hungry, I bet you ask for 2.
I can sit here right now and tell you, I have never been to Taco Bell and got one thing.
No.
Nobody has. I doubt it's ever happened. I mean, I doubt someone maybe they get a drink through the drive-thru because they're thirsty, but other than that, man, I can't imagine.
I've done the Mexican pizza solo. I don't even know if they still do that.
They don't.
They don't? Yeah. No. Oh, my God. Man, I'm telling you, that was my and I would still get like a taco or 2 on the side. Because it's so light and easy to eat. I cannot believe they discontinued it. Yeah. I'm sure they discontinued it a decade ago. I'm just finding out.
It was only like a year ago. You're not too bad.
Okay, it's not too bad.
And on the
you could see it in my eyes. I was like, yeah, they got rid of that one.
Sucks, man.
And on the same topic of what do you eat or drink every day, here's a positive story. 106-year-old woman in Philadelphia. Not every day someone celebrates her 106th birthday. She did over the weekend. Dorothy Ned turned 106 years old. The great-grandmother of 9 and great-great-grandmother of 1 also says she was looking pretty good on her birthday. She complimented herself quite a bit. On a city and world often filled with so much loss, the 106-year-old Dorothy credits her long life to the man above. She said, I serve the Lord. Most of her friends have passed on. Beyond crediting faith, she also credits her love for the McDonald's Big Mac for her longevity.
Nice.
I like how she
4 or
does
5
this.
times a week.
Think about how she says this. Hey, I'm 106 years old because I served the Lord. Thank you, God. Oh, and also Big Macs.
Yeah.
Those 2 things together have given me a long life.
Well, okay, so ironically enough, the McDonald's is by the church she goes to. And she also credits herself going to church more because she goes almost on a daily basis at some point in time.
All right.
Just because she loves Big Macs. And it's like, a 1-2 combination. She goes to church, she does the thing, she slides over, she gets a Big Mac, man, and she's on with her day, which to me doesn't sound too bad. It's
Random.
Hello, Jacob. Welcome to the men's room. Hello, Jacob.
What's going on with our thing about
Oh, Jacob.
Hello.
Hola.
Welcome to the program. Random question. Let's see here, Jacob. What do we have for you? Okay, Jacob, you could probably answer this one. Who called the cops? Who had to call the cops?
My ex.
Uh-oh.
Your ex called the cops.
Well, she was my girlfriend at the time. But
right.
Yeah.
Okay. And what was going on?
Yeah. Just a verbal altercation, and she, felt the need.
So nothing physical. She just decided to call 911?
Correct.
And what does she tell them?
Wait, what's that, Thrill?
What does she tell the cop? Because if you say, hey, we're arguing, they don't care. So what did she say to get them to show up?
I mean, I know a couple things she said. He's intoxicated. What else?
Right.
Correct. So, yeah, she basically thought, my life is in danger, blah, 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 blah. But, you know, it doesn't take very much. You know, if it's a domestic dispute, it doesn't really take much to get them out there.
No, it does not. But let me ask you this. Was she concerned that you were a threat to your own well-being?
No.
So she was concerned for her own safety?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, from her point of view, yeah.
All right, okay, all right.
And how much longer were you together before you became exes?
It didn't take very long. I'd say probably about a month.
Okay.
Were you guys living?
And that's pretty long, but I mean, we were living together too, so.
No, we understand all the stuff that goes into it. You know, it's one thing if you get in an argument and the neighbors call the cops, you go like, all right, whatever. Too loud, it got out of control. If someone called the cops on me, like, I'm out. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, look, because one of two things is going on. Either you don't trust me or you're trying to run a con and get my ass arrested, and neither one of those is okay to me. Mm-hmm. You know, and I have had the neighbors called on, or have the neighbors call before. Like, I get it, but it's never been us.
Oh, I see.
I can't imagine picking up the phone, like calling 911. I just, unless I legitimately thought, like, this person's going to kill me or kill themselves, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like, you call 911, I'm out.
Mm-hmm. Reason we asked who called the cops, Georgia Bulldog fans. They have shown up by the thousands and descended upon Indianapolis, Indiana, ahead of tonight's national championship game against Alabama. Unfortunately, not everyone in the area is happy to see them in town, not because it's too many, but because they're being downright loud and obnoxious. A sports writer from Georgia, who was at the St. Elmo Steakhouse in Indianapolis, said a group of Georgia fans started getting wasted, started singing, and then started barking within the restaurant. It got so bad, they called the cops to get them to calm down. This is probably one of the most famous, it's the only restaurant I know by name in Indianapolis.
Correct. For sure.
And it always has been that way. And they're world famous for their shrimp cocktail, which might sound strange for being in Indianapolis. I guess it's the cocktail sauce. I'm not sure what their
Well, the restaurant's so old that back in the day, like, they were one of the only places in the Midwest that had a shrimp cocktail.
Ah, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Bulldogs have a tall task, as they say. They're facing an Alabama team that has a 7-game winning streak against the Bulldogs and just beat them in the SEC championship game a month ago. I didn't realize that. So tonight's game.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but Georgia all year was head and shoulders above everybody else. They were already in the national championship games. That SEC championship's like...
it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Go on. More of the Random Question coming up. 206-421-ROCK.
New on Curiosity Stream.
From time to time, we have collisions between asteroids and the Earth.
We track them, we study them, we hope the big one never comes. Don't look up, it's Asteroid Rush. And alligators. They rarely get sick, they even outlasted the dinosaurs. Could they hold the secret to human longevity?
Their blood could have antibacterial applications.
Wade into the investigation on immortal alligators. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
Well, great balls of fire, Bubba. What happened, Bilford? That crazy son of a Sal blew right through that four-way stop on Main Street and plowed into my cowboy Cadillac.
Your what?
My pickup truck. And I'm pretty sure my leg is broken, Ted.
Oh, quit your bitching, Buford, and talk with those side busters at the Advocates Law Firm. When I got busted up last month, well, shoot, they made sure those snakes at the insurance company played fair.
Boy, howdy. Even that creepy so-and-so Kyle earned his keep.
So if you get injured, the advocates get results. AdvocatesLaw.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
420. We got the secret word, 420. Tickets to see Ghost in Volbeat. Then you go to KISW.com and put the secret word in there and you get a chance to win those tickets. 420 again. All right, it is our random question. Question 206-421-ROCK.
Random.
Hello, Chris. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, gentlemen.
Hola.
Chris, welcome to the program. The random question. Okay. Most of the time when you get wet, you have a pretty good idea that you're going to get wet. Hopefully. You know what I mean? Maybe you're floating a river. Or, I don't know what you're doing. You're going to jump in the shower, something like that. But then there are times when you unexpectedly get wet. And Steve, I know you had one over the holiday when you were walking your dog.
It was, the snow started turning to slush. No big deal. It's like midnight, taking the dog out on the last walk. And directly on my street is where they're building the light rail, right? So the street's a little torn up in certain places. There's one area where they've cut most of the road away, and because of the snow and slush, you couldn't see it. So this dude in a Prius, he has no idea, but it was the perfect moment. He hits this thing, and just in my periphery, there's a wall of white. Average is like 8 feet tall. It's all slush, and all of it landed on me, underdog.
Yeah. So when did you unexpectedly get wet? You weren't planning on it, but you got wet. Not the worst thing in the world.
No, it was pretty bad. I really regretted how that unfolded. I got out of prison in 2007 while I was in work release in downtown Seattle. I worked for a painting company. My foreman, really cool dude, pick us up in his personal car, play a DVD, take the long route to work, all of that. So when I got out, he hit me up. He said, hey, my buddy's got a music venue down here. I can't remember the name of it. It's across the street from the King Street station. Down by the stadiums. I'm not sure if it's there anymore, but anyways, we're going into paint. So he says, all right, go handle the bathroom. I go in the bathroom, notice a little bit of moisture dripping off the ceiling. Now, mind you, the entire venue, or at least the bathrooms, are below street level, right?
All right.
So long story short, I poked at the sheetrock and took about, 300-400 gallons of street runoff water that had leaked into the sub-basement above the bathroom. Very unexpected. Not the way I planned that to go.
Did it all come out at once?
It felt like it took about 15 minutes. It was probably 15 seconds.
Okay. All right. Damn. Yeah, I mean, look.
But it was all of that good. It's all that outside of a good music venue stuff.
Yeah, we call that urine. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, what do you do? Do you get to go home and change, or are you just stuck in the wet clothes?
So, like I said, my foreman, just a good dude in general, but real sympathetic to the ex-convicts that worked for him. So he went out to his car. He got me a change of clothes. He said, you know what? I feel like you're good. Here's your $150 for the day. Why don't you go sit over there? You just relax. I apologize if I can't stop laughing at you.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to the bar then.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I'm definitely getting a drink.
What time you guys want to wrap this up? Because I got this money and I'm in Pioneer Square.
How long were you in prison?
Total, I did 13 years over 15.
Damn. For what? If you don't mind my asking.
Oh, no, not at all. I'm that classic convict story. I've turned my life around. All those choices made me who I am, all that good stuff. I got put behind bars in King County Juvenile at 13. I got sentenced to 60 months. That's considered juvenile life, or 5 years. You have to serve your 5 years or turn 18, whichever is longer. So I served my 5 years. I got out. I didn't have anywhere to go. I didn't have any kind of support system because I was that piece of garbage kid that I was thieving, I needed something. I just go take it. I don't care if the first money I ever stole was from my mother to buy comic books, and it kind of just escalated from there. I moved into Everett, didn't have anywhere to go, fell in with the wrong crowd, started doing meth. Took me about 6 months of getting out of juvenile lockup to catch another 3.5 in DOC. I went out to Monroe, and anybody that's ever been in prison knows that for the majority, most guys come in there and it's just a university on how to be a better criminal is what it really breaks down to, right?
Yeah, that's what you hear.
How many guys are sitting around a card table talking about how they're going to change their ways and, if I would have just made better choices,
Is it made better choices or made better choices to avoid getting caught?
Well, the answer my wife would like me to give at this point in my life is, make better choices.
Right.
My problem, my big downfall is I just didn't care about the consequences.
Sure.
I was willing to pay whatever consequences they gave me because I didn't care. So I did 3.5 at Monroe. Yeah, exactly. I did 3.5 at Monroe. I got out for 111 days. I went back for another 3.5 years. I mean, meth is a powerful drug, brother.
Yeah.
When you already have the inclination to creep through the dark looking for stuff you can carry over your shoulder, not having to sleep for a couple weeks at a time, it's an experience, man.
Yeah. What do you do now?
Right now, I am a union construction laborer.
All right.
Okay. I got out in September of 2007. It's been 14 years now. 30 days almost to the minute that I got out, I got set up on a blind date. We're now together for 13 years, married for 10, 3 kids. I have a career, and I got some crazy stories for people.
I got a question for you, man. How hard was it to overcome your resume
on a blind date, dude? Right.
What have you been doing with your life?
Right. From 13 until you met her.
I lived in Monroe for a while.
Right.
Out by the Speedway. You know, I mean, like, how do you clear that hurdle? You know what I mean? Where so she feels like this is a good idea for me. You know what I mean?
Well, let me to answer that. Let me back up a little bit. So, after the second trip in, I did another 3.5. I got out about 6 months before I hit the streets. I woke up one morning and I look across the cell at my cell and I'm like, you know what, bud? I'm pretty sure I'm done with this. I'm done playing this game. I don't want to play anymore. I'm taking my freedom and I'm going home. So that same dude, he got out 3 or 4 months before I did. My now wife was working at the Kenmore Safeway as a checker, and she overheard this guy and his girlfriend that they were moving and they needed a pickup truck. Well, they were regular customers. They made a point of coming through her line and conversating with her. So she let them borrow her truck. Then she volunteers to come and help them after work. So she's driving them back to their place. And my buddy Teresa says, you know what, Steven, do you know a good guy? You seem like a good guy. If you know a good guy, I think I'm ready to go on a date. And he called me immediately. And he's asking me, hey, bro, are you available to go on a blind date on Friday? You can hear her in the background. Are you calling him right now? So she knew that he had been locked up. And he told her, I've been ashamed about things that I have done, but I've never been ashamed about the years that I spent behind bars. I absolutely paid the price that I had coming. I knew what it was beforehand, and I jumped in feet first.
Well, hey, man, I'm glad it worked out for you, but somebody here that gave a great suggestion on the text line. You could have said, well, I spent most of my younger days living in a gated community.
Living the high life.
Yeah, there you go, man.
Raise West, what unexpectedly got you wet? You might think the worst thing that could happen on a chairlift at a ski resort is just falling off the damn thing.
That would be bad.
But a hydrant burst at Beach Mountain Ski Resort in North Carolina on Friday. Apparently, a skier crashed into the hydrant that was below the chairlift somewhere.
Do you know why he crashed into it?
No.
Because they had a fire hydrant on the goddamn ski slope.
It was directly under the chairlift, which meant the riders on the chairlift were getting blasted by cold water. The water was coming out with intense force, enough that it was lifting the chair on the lift, as well as lifting the skier out of the chairs. The chairlift continued operating, which meant many skiers got caught under it, not just the video that we saw. There were more people that came through.
There's a video we saw where the chairlift would come to a stop, and there's just one poor soul directly above the thing.
One guy got caught under it for about 2 minutes, all right? One person was clinging to the lift to stay on it. It was so wild that many people were jumping off the lift before they got there to avoid it. Beach Mountain released a statement, but rather than apologize and take full responsibility, they blamed the situation on the skier, who crashed into the hydrant and dismissively said that it resulted in several patrons getting wet. 2 skiers were hospitalized with non-threatening injuries. But if you get a chance to see this video of what is happening to these guys,
your day is better than this guy.
You know that water's cold. They are on a ski lift. I mean, it's almost like the fire department's got a hose and they are shooting it up at the bottom of the chairs on the ski lift.
It is unbelievable.
And this one poor dude. I mean, and there's nothing he can do. My question is, I understand they're trying to. I'm not a big skier. I've been skiing a few times. One of the things I appreciated about skiing, or at least I had this belief as I'm going down the mountain, was other than the trees that I can see and the other skiers, I don't assume there's anything else on the mountain for me to hit. It's like if you're driving down 5 you don't expect a fire hydrant to just be posted in the middle of the goddamn lanes, right? I mean,
and we still can't figure out why there's a fire hydrant there in the first place.
It's a mountain where you encourage people to ski, and I know it's under the chairlift, but even when you ski, sometimes you ski, or even when you're just crossing over, you go under the chairlift. Why? I understand why a fire hydrant's there in case there's a fire. It just seems like a very bad idea to me to put it in a place where people are skiing, as opposed to like where you get dumped off the ski lift at the top. Like, maybe put it there. Mm-hmm. No one's really skiing there, but I like how they blame the guy.
Random.
He hit that fire hydrant we have in the middle of the goddamn mountain that we opened for people to ski.
How is that guy not hurt?
I don't know.
Like, plowing into a fire hydrant. It's also weird, too, as it's in North Carolina. So you got to imagine most of that is man-made snow.
I didn't even know they had skiing in North Carolina. To be honest, until today.
Yeah, I knew, Virginia and West Virginia. I didn't think they had it in North Carolina either.
Nope. I guess they do. Look out for the fire hydrants. Guess who it is, Ted? James. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitch, hola.
Hola.
James, welcome to the program. The random question. Okay, here's a doozy for you. What would you say is the most important lesson you learned from your parents growing up? Or maybe even now?
Ooh.
It can be good or bad. Sometimes you don't want to do what they did. Other times they give you great wisdom. What's it? Don't fry bacon in the nude.
I would say leaving the liquor cabinet unlocked for me and my 12-year-old brother. Mm-hmm. And just not caring about, just not watching it, monitoring it, whatnot.
Did they not care or did they not notice?
I don't think they noticed, but I know they noticed after a couple times.
All right.
That my brother got in there.
Do you have kids of your own now?
I do.
And do you have your liquor locked up, or at least put in a place they can't get it?
I have it put in a place they cannot get to it.
Okay, that's basically. I normally have a bottle or two on me.
Uh-huh.
I hide that in my weed.
Sure, but your kids are the age where legally they can do it. So you can only be kind of upset.
Right.
When you're underage.
But they will come to my house, and smoke my weed, and drink all my beer. Or drink all my, I don't care about the beer, but you know what I mean? At the same time. If I want it and I go to get it and it's not there, I'm just like, what the hell, man? You know what I mean? Because I had one joint left when I went out of town.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure my daughter might have thrown a little party with it, right?
Oh, yeah.
But she smoked my last joint. And then I knew it because I found it, and she put it out in a plant. And I'm like, me, man. I water my plants on a weekly basis.
Right.
I'm looking down there and like, you sons of bitches.
I guess that she had people over, but she's probably smart enough not to put it out in the plant.
Right, that's one of her friends.
That was her friend, yeah.
Yeah.
I had the same thought,
How much liquor do you have in your liquor cabinet?
I've only got a few bottles, but my parents, they had Kahlua. They used to make White Russians. They vodka. My stepdad drank a lot of whiskey and whatnot, so they had probably 15 to 20 bottles.
Ooh, boy, a White Russian. That's one where you don't have it very often. When you do, you're like, I just forgot how good these are.
I had part of a Kahlua and cream yesterday, in fact.
That is a good drink. I mean, you can't. It's one and done.
Yes.
It's kind of like eggnog. You know what I mean? I don't think you can drink. I mean, I could as being younger because it was an alcohol that I could tolerate.
Sure.
I knew if I was going to get drunk, I could do that. But all you do is fart all night. You know what I mean? Pretty much. Then it is very tasty.
But see, to me, he's absolutely right. Keep your liquor. When your kids get to a certain age, you're going to want it. But my thought is, all right, what I'll do is buy a couple of whiskeys and plastic bottles, right? Like Yukon. I'll keep the good stuff where I want. But that way, if they're going to sneak, the kids' rite of passage, Yukon Jack and something like Budweiser as the beer. Because in their mind, they'll say, Dad always has a six-pack. That six-pack will be as old as from the day I bought it because I do not like Budweiser, but at least introduce them to the real bad stuff. Then they might not want to drink anymore.
I mean, the problem is, though, we've all been that age. Like,
I know.
I remember us doing we once mixed vanilla extract and orange juice.
Peach schnapps was a big one.
Right, but peach schnapps is at least a liqueur.
What I'm saying was it was a tolerable alcohol.
Right, something you can handle.
If it was Jack Daniels and peach schnapps, and I had a chance to take the schnapps. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would never take... So I'm not even sure that anybody really realized that was being knocked down to the rate it was. Because
that's why I want to buy the cheap stuff. So, like, look, kids are going to find everything. I think that's inevitable, as they go through the course of life and live in the house. So I'll make sure that the really cheap, horrible, Everclear, Yukon Jack, like that stuff, like, ooh... We got to hold the dad's booze. Like, no, actually, that's your booze just for you to hate it.
Do you ever do it with your friends?
What's that?
Like, I just kind of have liquor bottles out on a corner of my, kitchen.
Oh, you mean hide them if friends are coming over?
But, sometimes somebody would give me, a really nice bottle of whiskey or bourbon, and, not necessarily for my friends, maybe just for me. but I'll put it up in a different cabinet with bottles of red wine.
Absolutely.
Like that one's not just going to sit out.
Because if it does, someone's going to encourage you to open it and start drinking it.
Correct.
And you're going to get into it.
Yeah, and you'll be like, sure, why not?
Actually, it kind of happened to my wife a couple of weeks ago. She had some friends over. They're doing whatever, all right? So they get together. They're going to start drinking wine, right? Shocking. So everyone had brought wine, but I want to say all the wines are like between $8 and $15, right? Just standard, whatever kind of wine. So she has a pretty massive collection kind of sitting in this one cabinet thing we have. And her friend had gotten in, had opened the bottle and said, hey, man, more wine. And everyone's like, yeah. So they crush this bottle of wine. They all leave. My wife's holding this bottle, and she's like, I've been saving this bottle. It's like $120 goddamn dollars. I said, well, you got to know just to put it don't put it in the front, because I don't think this woman was looking for that wine. It's just when you look, there's a bunch of bottles. You grab the one up front. I'm like, you got to put the expensive stuff in the back, man. Yeah, because everything else you drank was like $6 to $15, and then you just cracked open, right, $120 bottle of wine.
Reason we asked, what's the most important lesson you learned from your parents? Rapper Jim Jones recently revealed on a podcast that his mom taught him how to kiss with her mouth before backpedaling. Quote, my mom taught me how to tongue kiss when I was younger, Jones said. He's 45 years old. He was appearing on Angela Yee's Lip Service podcast. Quote, what were the instructions? Yee asked, to which he responded, there wasn't no instructions. She showed me with her mouth. A shocked Yee then asked for clarification. She kissed you? It's my mother. What do you mean? Jones retorted. In an apparent attempt to rationalize the act, the artist went on to share that his mother was only 17 years old when she had him. Remember, my mom was 17. She's a baby, he said. Look at all the babies that are having babies now, and look at how they act with their babies.
They don't tongue kiss their kids.
Like they have a little sister or brother more than they had a kid. When asked if he thought his first French kiss was nasty, he said, with my mom, it didn't faze me. But that first time I kissed another girl, I was so pissed off I didn't know what the F was going on. The clip quickly circulated on social media, leading fans to call out the star for sharing the story and his mother, Nancy Jones. Jim Jones admitting that his mom tongue-kissed him and taught him all about sex, and he didn't see anything wrong with it, made my stomach hurt, said somebody on Twitter. For the record, I love my mama more than anything in the world, and for the record, it was a joke. People are taking things too far, as he began to backpedal on his comments.
Sure, yeah.
By the way, so we were kind of right. North Carolina, they have those hydrants to make the snow. That's why they're probably dotted up the mountain.
That's why it had so much pressure on it, because blowing snow.
Right. Yeah. You put something else on top of it, and that turns it into the snow machine.
That explains a lot. All right.
More of the random question coming up, 206-421-ROCK.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too-big-to-fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hearforuswa.org.